Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to another episode of Soccer Highlighting. Myself, Emi Akura. We all know that we know who won the English Premier League. We know who won the League One. We know who won the Serie A. We know who won the Spanish La Liga. And we know who won the Bundesliga. So we're not, oblivious to who the champions are. But we're going to be talking about what went wrong and at what point do some of these teams, just capitulate and give the league away? And we're going to start with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, we all know they've dominated the league in a very long time. It became a league where, they were the only team that was winning. Other teams were just there to, support them to win. Because we saw that with them signing quality players from Borussia Dortmund, from Bayer Leverkusen, going to Bayern Munich, and just for them to win the league. But this season, something happened that nobody expected that to happen. We saw a Bayer Leverkusen side that took Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso came in, took them from second to the last of the table to winning the league. Now, this is something that I often talk about on the show, right? Because whenever you have a team that we have a coach who instills a winning mentality, and the winning mentality might not just be with the past experiences of players who have won it before. It might just be that making players to believe in themselves. If you are able to motivate players to think highly about themselves, to think that they can actually achieve anything, then it's possible for them to go ahead and win it. And I think this is, for me, this is a key point. This is a key thing when it comes to the Bayer Leverkusen winning the league. They were a team that, believed in themselves. Some of the players were not known, but the mere fact that they believed that they can actually go ahead and do it. And they had a coach who believed so much in them, who took them like a family and treated them very well. They were able to give their all, to winning the Bundesliga rather with Bayer Leverkusen. Now that is a beautiful thing about the game of soccer, because on paper everybody expected Bayern Munich. It was a deja vu to a lot of people because Bayern Munich is known for winning year in, year out, winning every cup that it is to win in the Bundesliga. But this season, Bayer Leverkusen said, no, enough is enough. We actually have to prove it, and we actually have to win our first league title, and they succeeded in doing that. And also in the English Premier League, where Manchester City now set a record, Pep Guardiola did it. He won the league for the fourth time in a row, becoming the first manager to do that. I mean, when we had Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger dominating in the English Premier League, they were unable to achieve that feat because, winning the English Premier League was one of the most difficult things. That's why you had Arsenal, Manchester United fighting for it year in, year out. Although Manchester United dominated during the era of Sir Alex Ferguson. However, it was impossible for them to win it 4 times. The Pep came in and said, you know what, I'm going to actually make this league look very simple. And he succeeded in doing that because now we don't have players who are competing for the league to win it. And there's one thing that I want people to understand here. When it comes to Manchester City and other teams, the disparity between Manchester City and other teams when it comes to the English Premier League is that they know how to win it, even when they are not doing very well. Even when the odds are against them, they still go ahead and win it. Because this season, we saw how brilliant Arsenal were. And I was speaking to a friend and I say, the Arsenal team are matured now. They've come of age. And I think, for me, they are well equipped and well prepared to win the league this time around. But Arsenal, once again, disappointed us when it matters the most. And where did Arsenal lose it? They lost it when they lost at home to Aston Villa. That was the turning point for them because, for me, at home against a team like Aston Villa, you were supposed to win that game. And winning that game would actually put them in a position where the destiny was going to be in their own hands to decide if they're going to win the league or not. But once again, they lost that game, at home to Aston Villa 2-0. And Manchester City proved once again that they're a team that you cannot just make a mistake when they're following you. You can do that with the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United of the moment. But talking about Manchester City, when you make a mistake and you allow them to be in charge of how they decide and how they detect the game, believe me, that is what you're going to see. Manchester City winning that game at the expense of Arsenal, who were brilliant and chances are that next season they will go at it again because they have a very young squad with a very good coach in the person of Mikel Arteta. And congratulations to Manchester City for winning the league for the 4th time in a row. And that is a record that they set in the English Premier League. And also, of course, Haaland, who won the highest goal scorer in the English Premier League. They can only get better, right? They also have a very young squad. Pep is doing a brilliant job, and we can only sit here and anticipate what is going to happen next season. But I tell you this, next season, Pep will still be competing because the players are getting used to winning. And when you win, it becomes so addicted. Winning is addictive, rather. So when they are now addicted to winning, it becomes very difficult for anybody to stop them. And the likes of what? Another twist also in the English Premier League that everyone is crying about is the fact that Chelsea thought they had qualified for Europa comes next season, only for Manchester United to say, wait a minute, we are to decide. And truly, Manchester United decided that Chelsea are not going to compete in the Europa. Newcastle are not going to play any European football comes next season. How sad that it is for Chelsea and Newcastle United fans, because Chelsea finishing six on the table means that they qualify automatically in the Europa. But now with their drop to Europa Conference League, I don't even know what that is, but believe in me, it is heartbreaking for Chelsea fans. Manchester United winning the FA Cup against Manchester City, and that took them to Europa comes next season. Kudos to Ten Hag, most of the coaches that are not doing very well, and people thought that their fate was supposed to, to have been decided a long time ago, but now they're making it look like they're going to stay or they're not going to stay. We don't know yet, but that is what happened to Chelsea and Newcastle United. I wonder how their fans are feeling right now with what happened to them. Manchester United are going to play European football comes in next season. Congratulations once again to Manchester United for winning the FA Cup. And now, when you move to La Liga, where we're going to be talking about Real Madrid. Real Madrid winning the La Liga for the 36th time, a record that they set for themselves. This is one of the best teams in the world football, if not the best, if not number one. They are one of the best. When you talk about football, you talk about Real Madrid. When you talk about Champions League, you talk about Mr. Champions League. And that is a team that it has been dominating. They've won the Champions League so far 14 times, and they're going in for the final against Borussia Dortmund. If they win that one, it's going to be the 15th one, and it's going to be a record. It's already a record because 14, no one. The person who came close is AC Milan with 7. The rest have 6, 5 here and there. But Real Madrid, believe you me, when it comes to these competitions, they know how to win it. And they won the La Liga without losing a single match at home. Congratulations to Ancelotti. He knows how to win it, right? He is a coach that has done a brilliant job with Real Madrid. And when he comes, he wins, and the most important thing about some of these coaches and some of these big teams is the fact that if you are a coach who's able to keep the players happy together, you get positive results. And that is what Ancelotti has succeeded in doing with this Madrid side. Inter Milan winning the Serie A, they win it. Napoli won last season. Inter Milan said this season, we are taking it. They were well determined, and they won it. And we see Turan won it with celebrating with his father, rather. His father also won it with Juve. He is now won it with Inter Milan, and that is a good thing for Inter Milan, winning it, and at the expense of Juventus, AC Milan, and Napoli, who were the reigning champion before Inter Milan won that league. And in France, we all know, this is a deja vu, right? We know it's going to happen. It happened again, and it's still going to happen again. We saw how PSG humiliated everyone, how they won it again, taking it away once again. They've dominated for years now. And people will argue, though, that it's the money that they have spent that made them to, keep winning year in, year out. But who said you shouldn't have money? Who said you shouldn't have sponsors? People who will buy you and actually win you trophies. PSG won that one in League One. Sorry, PSG won that one in League One. All right. Now we're going to be talking about some things some news that is coming out, right? That it is heartbreaking, and it's also good for some people. We talk about Chelsea. Now, Chelsea did very bad this season. Chelsea were below average. And to a lot of Chelsea fans, they started calling for Pochettino to be fired. That was when the season just, started, and then they were losing here and there at home to Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest, And at some point, the owners decided, let's give him an opportunity to prove himself. So when he just feels like he is picking up again, they will go back again. So their result and performance were up and down. However, the man managed to take Chelsea to Europe, qualify Chelsea to Europe. And the fans were now beginning to build themselves to believe that let's give this coach an opportunity next season to see what he's going to do, right? Boom, out of nowhere, Pochettino was fired. And now, what do we have? Chelsea don't have a coach at the moment. They're looking for, there's Zebi, there's Kena, there's so many people, names that are, some of the obscure names I don't even know, are emanating from different media platforms about who is going to be the Chelsea coach comes next season. And it was a surprise because, when you just think that Pochettino is going to stay and build a team that he wants to build to be able to compete for the league comes next season, then he got fired. Well, we have to wait and see who the Chelsea coach is going to be. Is it going to be Jose Mourinho who will come back? I highly doubt if that is going to be possible. But we'll have to wait and see if that is going to happen. And also, Erik ten Hag, also news is coming from different quarters that he's going to be fired at Manchester United board after winning the FA Cup. Well, we have to also wait and see. And one thing that we also need to understand is this. Some of these coaches are not being fired because they failed to meet up the expectation at some point. Some of them are going to be fired because of the disunity that they bring to the club. Some of them brought disunity that the club is now finding it difficult to patch, So if we're talking about Manchester United, we saw what happened with Sancho, we saw what happened with different players who were actually resentful towards the coach, Erik ten Hag. And, in order for the owner of the club to keep the club together and the players happy, sometimes you have to get rid of the coach, and the fans might not be happy with the decision, but these are internal decisions that they only understand why they're doing some of the things that they are doing. So I believe Chelsea and Manchester United fans will understand if these coaches are not going to be able to be with them next season as Pochettino is fired, and if Ten Hag is not going to be there, you also need to understand why these coaches are not going to be there, all right? So these are just a few stories that I feel we should talk about. And on this show, we're going to be doing some sort of recap. On the next episode, we're going to be bringing some of the highlights of the Premier League, the League One, the Serie A, the Spanish League, the Bundesliga. We're going to be bringing some of these highlights just to be able to do a few recaps here and there to understand where we were and where it went wrong and why this team won, why this one failed, the officiating, how was the officiating, are the fans satisfied with the things that they are seeing, and the call actually for VAR to be scrapped out of soccer. We're also going to be bringing some of this story to you as we build up to European football comes 2024. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this particular episode with myself, Amy Akura. Until I come your way again, stay blessed.